Hello Virgo, and welcome to your new moon lunar cycle insight video for the lunar cycle beginning with the new moon partial solar eclipse in Cancer on the 12th, 13th of July, depending on where you are in the world, and culminating with the new moon Leo solar eclipse on the 11th of August. So this is a powerful portal of transformation, recalibration and shedding that we will all be collectively moving through. These are the most potent months of the year for inner alchemy, and these videos are designed to guide you through these energies as they manifest in your birth chart so that you can work with them, flow with them and understand what is happening and how you can best utilize these amazing alignments for soul growth. So we're going to begin this month with this new moon partial solar eclipse, which will fall in your 11th house, Virgo. The 11th house is the house of the web, the connections we weave, the threads that bind us to our world, to our wider community, both online and in person. It deals with friendships, with groups, with circles, and it also deals with our big visions, our individual purpose, and our dreams for this incarnation. So with the solar eclipse rising in this space of your birth chart, it's really time for you to look at the cords of connection that you have, particularly with your friends and those people that you are involved in community with. Are these relationships supporting and nourishing and nurturing you, Virgo? Or are you giving out a lot more than you are receiving? Are you giving yourself the time that you need to nurture your own big dreams, your own visions for the future? Perhaps there is something that is no longer working, or some connection that it is energetically cording you to the past, that needs to be dissolved, that needs to be washed away around this time. It's a time of reassessing, of reworking those threads, reworking your goals, your long-term plans. This lunar eclipse will be opposed by Pluto, the Dark Lord, who is currently transiting your 5th house alongside Saturn. So your deep soul lesson at this moment, at this point in your incarnation, Virgo, is to work with the frequency of self-love, with allowing yourself to shine, with allowing yourself to share your creative gifts and talents with the world. So if there are some visions or some connections that are distracting you from this purpose, or that are not allowing you to express your true, authentic, individual gifts in this world, or that are draining your life force, draining your vitality and draining your joy, now this is the time to let them go. Perhaps some old memories, there will be some nostalgia about friendships and connections from the past that may also come up to be released at this time. And it's really bearing in mind that the lessons that we learn through our relationships and connections with other people are ours to keep forever, but sometimes the connection needs to end in physical form, and this can be for a myriad of different reasons, and is most often just because our souls have learned all that we can learn together for this moment, and it's time to move on. So those are some things that you can ponder around the new moon partial solar eclipse, Virgo. And this new moon is a very interesting energy because we have a grand water trine reforming and an earth trine forming around the time of the new moon as well. So the water trine is made up of Jupiter in Scorpio, who has just stationed direct in your 3rd house, Neptune in Pisces in your 7th house, and the moon as she reaches, as she goes dark and comes up to rebirth herself for the new moon solar eclipse in your 11th house. So this is a time when you might find that new connections, new partnerships, new friendships begin to form as a result of you being brave enough to let go of what no longer works. And with the earth trine forming as well between Venus and Virgo in your sign, Uranus and Taurus in your 9th house, and Saturn in Capricorn in your 5th house, this can be a time when new opportunities may come through your social circle, may come through your relationships, new abundance, new work opportunities may come to you through the connections you make and the people that you know. So this eclipse is a reflection of the cycle that we will all be going through, which will be letting go, surrendering to the void and trusting that what we let go of will be replaced with something that is more in alignment with our soul. So don't be afraid to let go, Virgo. We know that you like to hold on to things. We know that you get worried and anxious. So just take this moment to trust and to surrender and to know that what is yours will come to you. So on the 22nd of July, the sun moves into Leo, and that for you, Virgo, is the 12th house. So the solar month preceding our solar return or our birthday is the time that the sun will transit this final house of our birth chart. And this is a time of reflection, of review, of turning within to take stock of what has happened over the previous 12 months, you know. What visions have manifested? What things are you still wishing to create, Virgo? What changes do you need to make in your life so that you can be more fully on purpose, so that you can be more fully grounded and embodied in what you are wishing to call forth? So this is a time of going within, of shedding the psychic weight, the old karmic baggage, everything that you have accumulated over the previous cycle that you no longer wish to take forward. So you may feel called to be within, to be meditating, to be resting, to be cleansing, to be purging, to be decluttering, to be detoxifying. And this is particularly true as Mercury, your ruler, will also be going retrograde in the 12th house between the 26th of July and the 19th of August. So this energy will take this cleansing, this reworking, this rewiring energy down to an even deeper level. This can be a time for you, Virgo, of letting go of any self-sabotaging, people-pleasing behaviors. Sometimes it can be your tendency, Virgo, to put yourself last on the list. You are a sign of service that wants to be helpful, that wants to care for people, that wants to take on the burdens and troubles of the rest of the world. And because of your beautiful giving nature, sometimes you can be quite self-sacrificing, and this Mercury retrograde will highlight those areas in which that behavior is not serving you. It can also highlight addictive patterns and coping mechanisms that may be holding you back. And it can be a time of great inner revelation and psychic activity. The 12th house, as well as the house of being of karmic cleansing, is also the house that connects us to source, that connects us to spirit. This can be a time when your intuition can be really awakened, Virgo. A time when you might receive profound dreams, insights, visions. This would be a good time to start keeping a dream journal, to really upping your spiritual connection practice. So whatever connects you spiritually, whatever makes you feel most aligned, it's important to cultivate a good daily habit that encourages you to practice every day that connection. So maybe it's standing in front of your altar, maybe it's a short meditation, maybe it's a walk in nature. Whatever is your directest connection to the wisdom of the infinite can be enhanced during this period. So on the 27th of July, we have the biggest eclipse of the cycle and the biggest eclipse of the century, the Aquarius blood moon lunar eclipse on the south node, conjunct retrograde Mars. So for all of us, however this is moving through our chart, it will call us to let go, to shed layers of old pain, old fear, old anger, old trauma, anything that is not fueling our soul, anything that is holding us back from expressing our authentic nature will come up to be let go of during this period. And for you, this eclipse specifically falls in your 6th house, which is an area that you will already be working with in your birth chart because Mars has been retrograde there since last month. And this is the house that is ruled over by Virgo. This is the house of purification, of the small routines, the details that make up our daily life. So when we have big transits or eclipses, retrogrades in the 6th house, we are being called to purify on all levels. So this can take the decluttering energies that I've already talked about in the 12th house down to a physical, practical level. So this is a time for you to look at the bones of your life, the routines, the structures of your life, and see what needs reorganizing, what needs recalibrating. What are you wasting your time and energy on, Virgo, that is not helping you to move forward in the way that you wish to be moving forward? Where are you lacking productivity? Where do you need to simplify? All of these questions can come up around the time of this full moon. And the 6th house also speaks to us of our daily work. So perhaps there can be changes in your work life around this time. Perhaps there is an old job going out, a new job coming in. Perhaps you're deciding to have a complete change of career or even move towards self-employment, which will call you to structure your days in a more productive way. Perhaps you feel like you need to get rid of all of the clutter in your home. Perhaps you feel like you need to start looking after your physical vessel in a more organized manner. Perhaps you need to dedicate yourself to an exercise routine. Perhaps you are letting go of allergens in your diet which have been draining your energy. The 6th house is a very multi-layered energy that can play out in many of the practical facets of our life. So this can be a complete lifestyle overhaul for some Virgos. And Virgos, we know that, you know, your natural gift is organization. So this can be quite a comfortable energy for some of you as well. And Aquarius can also reveal to us our fixed mental patterns. And the 6th house can be the place where we are very hard on ourselves, where we're very critical, where we strive for perfection. And of course, this is your nature too as Virgo. So this can also reveal to you, Virgo, where you are being a little bit too hard on yourself, where you are holding on to those patterns of unworthiness, or where you are pushing yourself to the limit, to burnout, trying to do everything up to your natural high standards. So this can also reveal the areas where you maybe need to give yourself a little bit of a break too. So after that eclipse rises and culminates, we have a little bit of a celestial break. We move into August, and the first planetary shift we have is Venus, who is going to leave your sign where she has been since the 9th of July, and she's going to head into your 2nd house, which is ruled over by Libra. So this can be a time for you, Virgo, of allowing yourself to open up to receive the abundance of the universe. Venus loves the 2nd house. It's one of the houses of the birth chart she rules over. She also loves to be in one of her home signs of Libra. So this is a really sweet transit where you may find that you feel a little bit more sensual than usual, a little bit more connected to your body, your physical desires and needs. It can be a time where you may receive some extra prosperity or opportunities, and because this is Libra, you might find that these gifts come through the blessing of a beloved or somebody in your social circle. So that's quite a nice way to kind of come to the culmination of this lunar cycle, which will close with the dark moon in Leo. And this is going to be the final eclipse of the season. So this will close the eclipse tunnel, and things will start to become a little bit clearer after this new moon in the sign of the Lion, which will again fall in your 12th house, and it will highlight the energies that you have been working with all month. It's going to highlight the need for authentic self-expression, the need to express your deep feelings and desires, as it squares Jupiter, who is newly direct in your 3rd house. We'll talk a little bit more about this eclipse in the videos next month, but it can be a time of you really awakening to some hidden talents, to some hidden gifts. The card I pick for you this month, Virgo, is from the Isis deck by Alana Fairchild again, and this is Temple of Black Obsidian, the Dark Healing Chamber. So obsidian is very much related to the void and the space of unknowing, which is where we will collectively be moving through as we journey through this 4-week-long eclipse tunnel, which is extra long because normally they're only 2 weeks. We only have 2 eclipses, but we have 3 this time, so it's an extra long journey through the corridors of darkness. And when we're in this void space, we have to surrender, we have to trust, we have to do Pisces, which is your opposite sign. You are a sign, Virgo, that likes to plan, that likes to control, that likes to know what is happening. Otherwise you can become a little bit irritable and a little bit anxious. So this month is almost a training for you in trusting the wisdom of the cosmos, in learning to surrender your need for control, your need to know, your need to understand. And as you do that, you awaken a whole new place of receiving within you, and you can allow the synchronicities to flow into your life. You can allow yourself to open up to the infinite possibilities that continually surround us if we choose to open up to them. So Virgo, I hope that this video has served you, and I am wishing you a beautiful journey through the eclipse tunnel. If you would like to connect with me further, you can find the links to my Facebook page and group below this video. So much love.